roughly
80 billion.
No, that's very good. Wow.
roughly $250 million to $500 million last year because of scams, no? Offering high returns that's guaranteed. No? Because the company was out of BVI, British Virgin Islands, which anyone can incorporate there. Those are and it's not rated by the S&P, Moody's, or Fitch. Those are the small things that the investors don't see that we want to share in the Global Investor Center. If you want to invest abroad, how do you do it? What's the legal process in doing it?
Right.
And also, what do I look for? That's why we bring in experts from Fortune 500 companies, which I'm lucky to have connections with because of my father's history as a broker in Hong Kong since 1982. So basically from that connection, we brought in together all of the big players in the finance industry in the Global Investor Center just to speak and educate Filipinos on how to do it right.
Okay, if after this interview, first let's ask how much money do I need to invest overseas?
You'll be surprised, Ron. It's how much money do you need in order to invest in Sun Life, for example, here in the Philippines? It's exactly how much money you need to invest abroad. You know, everybody abroad, for example, in the UK and the US, they're all using these instruments. We just don't know about it, right? Because we're really close-minded on the Philippine markets and what's happening here. So if we open our minds...
And I guess it's more, there's this sense of security since it's just here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Something goes wrong, like talk to the person.
Yeah, exactly.
But what you're saying, there are instruments abroad that I could utilize also with the same amount of money.
With the same amount of money you have here, you can utilize it abroad. But of course, you would want to make it a larger sum since you're just using it for savings, right? The money that you invest abroad, usually you use that for your pension, your retirement, your education, for long-term goals.
Right.
Because if you got short-term needs, you gotta put it in a bank here. If someone gets sick in the family, or you need to buy a new car or pay out some debts, you need to be able to have liquid money. And usually, if you have an investment abroad, in order to withdraw, it takes a couple of weeks, like 2 weeks, before you get your money, because it has to go through, of course, you're gonna
a long process.
Yeah, it's a bit of a longer process because of you have to sell the fund, and then they have to, they issue a check.
But let's talk about an amount, Doby. If I have, 10,000 pesos to spare every month, would that be okay to invest overseas?
Well,
that's above what I could be investing locally also. Is that okay? 10, 20,000 a month?
120 a year. About $3,000 a year.
Yeah, you can invest abroad with that amount of money, but again, you won't be able to utilize it as much.
So you're suggesting a higher amount?
Yeah,
give me a number. What kind of how much money are we talking about?
Actually, basically, in Global Investor Center, we educate first, right? And then after educating, if you've got funds like $100,000, something like that, you can afford a wealth advisor. That's Howard and Benjamin, the partner wealth advisor of Global Investor Center. And they charge a fixed fee for a wealth advice.
And that's the reason why you're suggesting a higher amount. Because talk to an advisor, that advisor has a tax or a cut from that, which could relinquish your gain.
You're paying a fixed fee here. And if you're investing $3,000 per year, your returns, baka mas malaki yung binayad mo for the consultancy than the returns, right? So what we do in those cases, the people who want to invest a small amount of portion, we just teach them through the center, right? And then they can do it on their own. Internet's open, it's already a global community. That's why we were incorporating this Global Investor Center, SEC called us basically to ask, what's it all about? What is it? What I said was, we lost $500 million, $500 million last year because of scams. And it's a pity. Nawawala sa economy natin yung sayang. Sana napunta sa business, welfare ng tao. Rather than turning a blind eye to it. Like, yung SECs mo sabi na, ay, hindi regulated yan, so wala kaming kinalaman doon. Kaya sa ganun, na-hurt pa rin yung mga investors, right? So the best thing that we can do in our part, our advocacy, is to help them learn more about it, right? Kesa sa blind eye tayo na hindi siya registered, educate na natin yung population para they know what to look for, basically, and they know what to choose the right avenues.
Mr. Colayco, let's talk about returns. Me investing globally, should I look at it long term? Do the returns come in short term also?
Investing is always long term. When we talk investing, it's not trading. It's investing, at least 5 years or longer. So in that sense, you need to set a target based on your own target. For example, I want to earn $1 million 10 years from now, or 30 years from now, and I only have so much to invest. For example, for every $1 million that I want to accumulate, for every $1 million that I want to accumulate, 30 years down the road, if I earn only 10% per year, just say modest target, it can never be guaranteed, but it's very doable, 10% per year. How much do I need to invest? And if I can earn 15%, how much? If I can earn 20%, how much do I save every month or invest every month? Goes down the line. It can be as high as $1,400 a month. Goes low as $65 a month for every million in 30 years if I earn 20%. Now, the longer time you have, the more risks you can take. Yes, the less money you can put up. Why? Because time mitigates risk.
Right.
So if I have 30 years, I'll go for an investment platform that may have an opportunity to yield me 20%. It's an example. Then I only have to expose $65 a month. That's a risk I can afford to take, right? That's like 20 years. But if I want it in 10 years, it's a little different.
So it'll be faster.
Yeah, I now have to invest.
Shorter time, higher risk. Is that what you're saying? So if I spread the years, if I get a longer time, I would balance the risks. There could be a time where I could be earning, there could be a time where I could be losing, but
over the long run,
you're still going to be earning.
Because time mitigates risk.
And also, there's also a cost of delay, right? In simple terms, if you want to save 500 pesos by Friday, then you start on Monday, you put 100 a day, right? Pag na-miss mo yung Monday, nagsimula ka ng Tuesday. Pag na-miss mo ng Tuesday, mas malaki na kailangan mo.
Nahabulin mo yun ang
mas malaki habulin. Pag na-miss mo Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday ka nag-start, halos half na ng 200, baka po 300 pesos na kailangan mo ilagay, diba? Kesa sa 100 lang. So basically, the longer time you see yourself investing, it's basically cheaper to achieve your goal. So that's where basically the partner of global investors center come in for high net worth individuals. It's Howard and Benjamin Wealth Advisor. What you can give a Howard and Benjamin Wealth Advisor is a target. I want $2,000 per month when I hit this age. How do I achieve that? Work it out for me. And then they will work it out, create a portfolio that encompasses the global scale portfolio management, which you've learned through the seminar of Global Investor Center. So more or less, pagkasama mo na yung wealth advisor mo, alam mo na kung ano sinasabi niya. Because usually what happens is, we started Howard and Benjamin first, before Global Investor Center. You come to a client, even if they're high net worth, but they don't know anything about global investing. So it's jargon for them.
Right.
So we can't help them in that way. But as much as we want to help them, we can't, because there's no information right there. We want to make them comfortable first. Before you get in an investment, you must know what you're getting in.
This is a basic thing, actually. Even before you put up investing, as we've talked to Mr. Colayco before in our other programs here in ANC. Before you go to investing, you really have to study those things first.
Yeah,
it's a goal. People invest dahil kumita siya.
Sali ako, gaya mo.
Yeah.
It may come out different. Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Mornings at ANC, Doby, Atilano, and of course, Mr. Francisco Colayco. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
For more useful tips on how to manage and budget your personal finances, grab a copy of the latest issue of Money Sense magazine, available in your favorite magazine stands and bookstores. If you have questions or suggestions, email us. You want us to discuss here in Mornings at ANC, you may email us at mornings@anc@gmail.com or text us at 0926-667-4541 or 0927-444-777. Up next, we get an outlook on the stock market from Mikey, plus we learn more about cervical cancer in Mornings at ANC.